Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hope you guys are doing well. It's Aaron Ntende. Uh, I just started this live alone, though a few of selectees want to join me here, so we are waiting for whoever is ready, so that they can join me here. How are you? How are you? How are you guys? Hope you're doing well. How are you guys? It's Aaron Ntende live on YouTube. So today we're going to talk about Dvlottery. This is our normal topic on my channel, Dvlottery and coming to America, or about life in America. So if you're there and you have a question, you can comment. I can see Paizo Hussein commented, congratulations for winning Dvlottery. Thank you. Thank you so much. As I wait for my guests, you guys can ask any random question so we can discuss it here. And please share our live YouTube link to others so they can come on and watch our video. So at the moment, okay, hi Aaron, how are you? Atwire, Laban, how are you, man? How are you? I'm doing great. Everything is okay. How are you doing, Kanado? I'm good. How are you? I'm doing great. So, as today, I was expecting two people to come online, but at the moment they are not in a good, comfortable place. I think they are kind of busy because in Uganda it's evening, or East Africa it's in evening. Evening time, people tend to be up and down. Uh, so today, at this moment, I want to talk about Dvlottery, about uh, where they tell you about the qualifying, about the qualifications, what is necessary for you to qualify for Dvlottery. So what's necessary for you to qualify for Dvlottery? With Dvlottery, we see when you go to the website, they tell you that they need you to have a high school or its equivalent. Then they put or if all 2 years of qualifying work experience as defined under provision of USA law. Yeah. So when you look at the high school that is for USA, In Africa, we have other names of high school equivalent. So, for example, in Uganda, the high school equivalent is a advanced level of education. That's the high school equivalent. And now when you look down, I hope everyone is okay. Everyone is okay. Thank you for asking, Michael. When you look here, high school equivalent are the only troubling questions which we have been getting, especially from Uganda, is O level. O level has been so sensitive that many people have gone to the interviews with their O level certificate, thinking O level is a high school equivalent. And yes, indeed, it's a high school equivalent, though in Uganda, they take A level. They recognize A level. The government of US or the American embassy, they recognize A level as the high school equivalent, which they need because it's in America there is high school equivalent called EGD, and that is the A level according to Uganda. And if you have that A level, you can join the college for further studies. I believe that's why they take more of A level for high school equivalent. And another name for O level, that is the high school diploma. So when you look here, we see work experience. So when work experience is a good topic. Okay, Aitwile Laban is asking if I win Dvlottery and I submitted my DS to 60 when I'm single and I immediately marry. Is it possible to add my wife there? Atwine, what I can tell you is it's always possible to add your wife. It's always possible to add your wife if you can go back and retrieve your unlock your DS260. So just go ahead, unlock your DS260, and after unlocking, then there you can add your wife's information. Probably if you have kids, you can also add your kids' information, like step kids or biological kids. But for the biological kids, they have to have been in the you have to have added them in the first place. That is when you are applying. If you never added any kid when you're applying, don't add. But if you're adding a wife and she has kids, you can add them. But to be specific, you are single and adding your girlfriend, maybe at the moment you don't have kids, you can go ahead and add, but you have to unlock your DS260 because at this moment we are in March, and at this moment there is still time. Though, what I can advise you, because if you're selected, you have only once, you have a one time, a one chance in a lifetime. So I want to advise you not to rush. Sometimes you might want to add your wife. Yes, indeed, you love her and you want to add her so you can take to America. But when you look at the time and your case number, is it worthy? Is it worthy to lose a chance? Is it worthy to lose a chance to come to America because you want to add your wife? Is it worthy? Ask yourself, is it worthy? Because when you unlock, it will take you back into the queue. You have to, when you unlock, they're gonna they're gonna send you another link which is having your DS260, which is unlocked, and it might take time. Some people even take long time. So to avoid that setback, I believe there are many ways to bring your wife after you come to America. So let's use this chance, this once in a lifetime chance, to first come to America before you can add anyone. Personally, I added my wife, but in my case, when I was selected in 2021, that is DV2022, when I was selected in 2021, right from the go, I went on to marry my wife. Then after a few months, like after 2 months, that's when I filled in the DS260. After getting all the required documents, like the marriage certificate, the passports for my wife and my child. After getting all those, that's when I filled in the DS260. But for you, if you are if you are a DV2024 at this moment, I don't advise you to marry anyone or add anyone onto your DV lottery. Actually, the advice I can give you is for those who are just joining, Laban, Twitter, just ask that if I win and I submitted my DST60 when I'm single, and I immediately marry, is it possible to add my wife? It's always possible, but at this moment for DV2024, however much it's not possible, you need to increase your chances of getting interviewed and winning. So I advise you not to marry. First, go on with your process as single, because we don't want you to lose your one chance in a lifetime. That is the DV lottery. You never know, next time they won't select you. But once they select you, use it for the best of your life. Because at this moment, you've been selected, you're single. Once you add, it's going to take a long process. And for those who have added their wife, they know they have to prove their relationship. They have to provide those necessary information, and it needs more money to be invested because you have another person added on to you. So please, at this moment, if you are DV2024, don't add your wife. Just continue with the process. There is a way you can bring your wife, as in you can bring your wife as a fiancé. At the embassy, when they ask you, are you in a serious relationship, you can always say yes, and they will ask you for the information of your girlfriend or your fiancé. That time, they're adding him or her to your application. Right at the interview. Hope you're getting me. Yeah, thank you for the advice. Okay, hope you have got my message. Was it too hard for you to get a host and a sponsor? Okay. Uh, for me to talk about that, Michael is asking, was it too hard for you to get a host? It's not even easy for anybody, even the people you know. Once you ask them to host you or to be your sponsor, it's not always easy. Even you going to ask. For example, it's just like begging somebody, can I stay in your house? Can I have information, your sensitive information? Man, it's not always easy. However much is your dad or is your whatever, it's not always easy. For me personally, let me give you my experience, how I got my sponsor. Uh, I had my auntie here. That is the young sister, my mom's young sister. But remember, she's big. So what happened is she used to encourage me to fill up the DS260. So when I was selected, he at least knew more about the avid active support and the rest of the information that a host needs to send to the selectee. So what happened is right away when I got selected, we started looking for the host. It wasn't easy because uh, here in America, people are always busy working. The the only time they have for you is when they're at work. Sometimes, like you can call them when they're at work in their break time. Some of them have free time while working. Like when they are free, they can talk to you. So for her, she wasn't legal here, as in she was legal, but she never had those papers. So she could not send me the affidavit of support, neither the tax papers. So what happened is she had to look for the for her host, for a sponsor somewhere else. Though whoever she asked that I just need the papers. I don't want my son to come stay with you or be a burden to you, but the only thing I need is the affidavit of support and the tax forms and the other ID copy. So what happened is the first individual she got was like, okay, yeah, I will help. And this was the my tribe was my tribe mate. Here in America, most tribes they are together. Like Basoga, they have Basoga to Egaite. Then the Baganda also have their uh, uh, togetherness group. Then there is a general group called WUMA that is having uh, trading groups and whatever. So this person was the leader of my tribe group here. So he said, I would give. If there is, I know, I've been giving to many of the selectees. I will give. But he had his agendas, like he wanted me to add his daughter or his niece. So he said, the only thing I want him to do for me is to add my what? My niece. If he can add my niece, I'm going to give him my my papers, the affidavit of support and the sponsor documents. So when things took that line, me personally, I wasn't ready to add anyone whom I don't know just to give them a space. And remember, in the first place, I already had information that if you when you when you apply in the first place, whatever you put is what you follow. So I wasn't really ready to give up my Dvlottery, to risk it for anything. So I told my auntie, no, I cannot do that. So she went ahead to look for somebody else. But luckily enough, she was at church and she she talked to her friend like, do you know that I failed to get somebody to give sponsor documents to my son? So that lady said, no, no problem. Me, I will give. I will give. If there is nobody, me, I will give. So that lady was a nurse. First of all, I thank her so much. She was a nurse and she was a USA citizen. We are lucky. She gave us her word. And Though still, it wasn't easy to get the affidavit still from her because she was every time busy. Here in America, just to bother someone for his papers, my friend, however much you're legally coming here, people put strings attached, put feelings. People, people don't wish you well. So you have to be so patient with them. So that time, me and my aunt, we were so patient. So we said, once they give me the prayer now, that's when we will ask for the affidavit of support and tax papers. And to to another extent, which I can tell you, like my aunt was the one who even got the tax tax papers from the online. Remember, the only thing she did, her uh she gave her the information. That's the only thing she did. And she gave her the passport, American passport copy. That's what she gave her. So my aunt went online and got the tax papers, then also the what? The affidavit of support. We filled it in ourselves because it is always easy to fill it in once you have the sponsor information. So that's how I got the affidavit of support, though it wasn't easy at all. I got it after getting my 12. Yeah, that's how I got it. So whoever is joining here, please, hello, Brazen, hello. Are you yeah, from Southern Sudan? Wow, it's nice having you here. I've been seeing people from Mozambique, Malawi, South Africa. Now I see Southern Sudan, Tanzania on my channel, Ghana, Nigeria. Then we go to Asia from Dubai. I've been seeing so many people coming from there, watching my channel and my videos. Thank you so much. So that was my journey, how I got the host document. But I always tell you guys, it's not easy, but once you start looking for the host, you can find the host. Once you start looking for the host. I have a couple who went to the interview recently. Uh, they got host document from a Kenyan individual that has been giving host documents. So uh, it's really not hard, but sometimes what I've seen is that once you have tax reforms or those tax documents, the rest you can explain. That's what I've seen because, as in the recent interview I had with Rachel, she told us that she never had the ID, neither did she have the affidavit of support. She only had the tax reforms and a letter from the host. So there is so many ways you can. Once you get those tax reforms, it is a high chance for you to come here because those tax forms, they have a lot of information. They carry a lot of information. Even they show how much your sponsor gets. That's how powerful they are. They have sponsor information like the ID numbers, the alien number. That alien number is so sensitive. So once you get the tax papers, tax documents from your sponsor, the rest, she even the affidavit of support, you can fill it up for yourself. Once you have just information like where she works, where she lives, you can fill it up. So if you have any question, guys, whoever is joining here, please go ahead, comment so we can just I'll discuss about that. So the other thing I was talking about is the Sovechi Aaron, greetings from Rwanda. Rwanda. Rwanda is about now is the most interesting country in Africa. I don't know if you guys have seen or you have heard about Rwanda. Rwanda is so powerful in each and everything nowadays. Their president here is doing a lot. We appreciate. So I appreciate my friend from Rwanda, Go Geoffrey Mugabo. I appreciate you being here. So Brazen is saying it seems hard journey when people don't want to support you. No one wants to support you once you are in your trial times. No one wants. People, they tend to move away, but once you make it there, they will even call you. I'm telling you, once you're in Africa, you want to come to America, people won't support you. Even your African brothers, they will have that bad heart. Sometimes it's not even them, it's just the devil. The devil is a liar. Like, people don't want to, once you're climbing, they're saying you're going for a greener pastures. A few of them will be like, okay, we can support, but still we need assurance that he's gonna pay us back our money. But already the assurance is there. This person is going to for greener pastures. And when we talk about greener pastures, coming to America when you have papers, even without papers, it's greener pastures at the end of the day. Once you reach here, you're here. It's all about you work, find ways to get papers, find ways to work. There is so many ways you can work here. Actually, I've met people, they told me their story. They gave me the contact, like you can, if you don't have papers, you can work. They call it under the table. So, guys, uh, so I have somebody saying, Jerry Gunn is saying, hello, Aaron Cat. If you have S4 and a certificate in electrical, do you qualify for DV if you are selected? Okay. Uh, about that, let me go to work experience. Here, I'm going to the website. The website is travel.state.gov. So here we have, uh, we are seeing how do you qualify, like you qualify by education or you qualify by work experience. When we talk about education, we already know high school equivalent, and that is senior 6, S6. Then for those who have senior 4 and want to add something, there we are looking at work experience. Or there is somewhere they say that if you have certain years in the education, that's why you're talking about a certificate, because they always want to see, like, you spend the years they spend in high school here, you spend it in your country, and it's the equivalent. That's why they say high school equivalent. So it doesn't not only mean S6, there is those criteria they consider once you finish senior 4 and you added something, or you diverted and went and did a is it a vocational study, something like close to that, something close to that. So about electrical, I want to go to work experience and look into this. Yeah, they say 2 years of work experience, because here they are saying Dvlottery program requires the principal applicant to have a high school or its equivalent, or 2 years of qualifying work experience as under the provision of the USA law. Then you have to ask yourself, what does the USA law says? Then they are saying under under high school education, they say a high school education means successfully completion of a formal course of elementary and secondary education comparable to a 12-year course in the USA states. That is the United States. Only formal course of study meet the requirement, equivalent certificate, such as GED. Yeah, hope you've listened to that. Let me repeat it. High school education. Under high school education, they say a high school education means successfully completion, successful completion of a formal course of elementary, that is primary, and the secondary, that is secondary, comparable to 12-year course in the United States. Hope that I'm clear. Only formal courses of study meet the requirement, equivalent certificate, such as GED. So, under work experience, they are saying if you are qualifying via work experience, you must have 2 years of experience in the last 5 years in an occupation which, by USA Department of Labor definitions, require at least 2 years of training or experience that is designated as job zone 4 or 5, clarified in a specific vocational preparations rating of 7.02 higher. There it becomes interesting. There you have to understand the English here to recognize what they are saying. Because I'll read it again. They're saying for work experience, you are qualifying if you are qualifying with work experience, you must have 2 years of experience in the last 5 years in an occupation which by USA Department definition require at least 2 years of training. Yeah. But to go back to your question where you said electrical, does electrical qualify you if you add it onto your O level? I see here like a high school, when they ask for a high school, for you have only O level, it is a high school, but they need the 12-year course. So with the electrical, does that electrical, is it a course which adds onto the O level? When they say when you say electrical, did you go through that electrical? Did you have a course like you studied 2 years? Do you have that certificate which shows that you started the electrical for more 2 years? For those 2 years to add on to the O level years to make it 12 years. Hope you're getting my point, because when they talk about high school, they're saying a high school means successful completion of a formal course of elementary, that is primary, and secondary education comparable to 12-year course in the United States. So that one, if you go to the American embassy for an interview, please print out this. Please print out this statement, because the American embassy, they need you to understand the process just the way they understand it. So once you print out this, like you finish your O level, as you have said, but you never went to A level. So you are lacking 2 years of A level. And here they are saying 12-year course in the United States. That is how your high school should be comparable. Meaning, if you finish O level and you did electrical course for another 2 years, you can defend yourself. Like, just taking this statement from the website, you can defend yourself. Like, this is comparable to the 12-year. That's how you can defend. If I was uh in your place, I would print it out and take it with me so I can defend myself. But for others who have only work experience without high school, there is another broad topic here. There, when you go under the work experience, there is a lot of uh, things they are talking about, the kind of work you need to have been involved in. So here, Brazen is saying, in my country, last year, 2023 DV lottery, they have selected only 11 people, but only 6 managed to go to USA. And do you think made it less people managed to go to USA on top of the many people? So I never understand it, but if I can think about what you're asking, maybe you're saying, do you think because they are less, that's why they never went all of them to USA? No, that's not what I think. I think they went to the embassy and some of them never qualified. Some of them never had the qualifying information, or some of them messed up while while submitting their DS260 and added irrelevant information. You know, you can be having qualifying documents, you can be qualifying, you have your high school, you have your master's, but you go ahead to add a child who is not yours. You go ahead to add a wife who is not yours. When I mean who's not yours, you don't have supporting documents, like legal documents. So when you add anyone who's not yours without any supporting document, that is a definite denial of a visa. They say you're trying to smuggle someone or you're giving missing information. And many people applied. Would this year many people to be selected? Okay, it's like this. Once many people apply from your country, many people will get selected. That means you have a higher number of selectees than when no one applies, because if no one applies, who will get selected? For example, I was reading somewhere or listening to somebody, and they compared Tanzania and Kenya. Like last year, how many were selected? Like Tanzania had more selectees than Kenya. Like so, if I'm not mistaken, that's the way it was. Like Tanzania had many selectees than Kenya. Why? Oh, Kenya has many selectees than Uganda. Why is it that way? Because Kenya is more. Many Kenyans know about Dvlottery, or many Tanzanians know about Dvlottery. So many of them are applying. For example, in the recent years, many Ugandans have been getting to know about this Dvlottery. That's why this year we're having more Ugandans involving in the applications. So many Ugandans will be even taken, like selected, than the other last years. So when you ask me, like, now many people are applying, would this year many people get selected? That's right. That's right. For example, if this DV lottery is general to the whole world, like they would say Africa, because Africans, we get more what? Selectees. Because we are many, we have a bigger percentage when it comes to uh, participation. So we have many selectees. For example, when you look at there's one country I just forgot. When you look at Egypt, so many Egyptians are involved in this process because they know more about the developed than the rest of the African countries. Kenyans in East Africa, Kenyans have been getting higher numbers of selectees because many Kenyans, right from high school, they apply. Right from high school, they apply. Right from high school, they apply. But Ugandans have not been caring because they never knew about this developer until recent. Many of them never knew about this developer until recent. Hope I'm clear uh with your hope I've answered your questions. So Kadama, Joy, thank you for coming here. You're asking what requirements are needed after one gets selected for developer. Good enough. I have my computer here and I want to go to the website itself and define for you. Whatever you ask me, I want to go to the website and read it for you before even me telling you what I know. So when you look at your question, like what are the requirements? Once you get selected, what are the requirements? First of all, there is requirements. The first requirements, like for you to qualify, that is the first requirement. Then we go to the documents that are involved. For you to qualify into the diverse visa lottery, you have to have a high school equivalent or a work experience. So high school equivalent, that is for Uganda, that is A level, and work experience, that is a broader topic. So after that, we will go to the kinds of documents that are required. The kinds of documents that are required, you will find the kinds of documents that are required are if you're married, you have to have a marriage certificate. First of all, your birth certificate. Then we go to your police letter, passport. Okay, let me try to get to documents here. Police letter, passport photo, that's kind of the same passport photo which you used when you're applying. Similar properties, that's the same passport photo they need. But your passport photo has to be less than 6 months. For example, it has to be one of the latest. Like they need the way you look. So the other thing, so there is birth certificate. So if you have ever committed a crime, you have to get court and prison records. If you have been in military, you have to have military records. Then police certificate, then copy of your valid passport, biological page. Then there is also a list of documents that a particular embassy asks. For example, for Nairobi, it asks for affidavit of support. You have to have it. And also, remember, there is medicals, so you have to have been you have to have been immunized according to the USA law. You have to get those immunizations. Without those immunizations, you cannot come here because they will believe you're going to uh, carry you're going to affect them, as in you might come with something to USA. So you have to be immunized and you have to be cleared by the IOM, by the hospital, like medically, you are fit to come to USA. So, Stefan, hello, Sir Aaron. Hope you're doing great. Watching from Cameroon. Wow, Cameroon. I love Cameroon. Thank you for watching. Kadama Joy, saying again, you mentioned the use of passport certificate, and you said, do we use the older type of birth certificate? When you say the older, I know you're talking about the birth notification that your mom or your dad got after giving birth to you. When these documents, they need you to get the national one, the one from the government. When you get that notification, me too, I have it. It is also written on birth certificate, but that is not a birth certificate. It's just a birth notification. So when you get that notification, the way we do it in Uganda, you get it, you go, there is a body, a government body called NIRA. And nowadays, it's in every part of the world, there is an office. Probably there is an office. For example, in Entebbe, there is an office for NIRA. You take that notification. First of all, the hospital, for example, let me say, if you don't have it, what do you do? Because I believe some of you have had questions about, if I don't have that notification, what should I do? It's very simple. Don't think it's a huge matter. You just go get in a hospital around the place where you are born, because what they need is for you to have it. So just go to the place where you are born, go to any hospital, talk to them that I need a birth certificate. If if the hospital where you are born is still existing, just go there, ask them, I need a birth notification. If you don't have it, so you get a nurse, they will put stamp or they will sign on it. They will put measles. They will pick diphtheria. They will polio. They will just tick them that you got them, because I believe most of you have them. So afterward, if they don't tick it, they will give you measles injection. No one wants to get a measles injection once you're grown up, or polio injection. So make sure you get it. If you don't have it, go get it. After getting it, go to the NIDA. And nowadays hospitals have that NIDA notification. They don't have the older one for the hospital. They have the one having NIDA. So you get that one. It's the one you take to the NIDA. So the NIDA will make an official birth certificate for you. For other countries, I don't know how you do it, but mostly the USA embassy wants you to have the national birth certificate. Even with the COVID, they need you to have the COVID certificate from the government, and it's easy to get them. So, for those who have just come in, please, you can comment and ask anything so we can discuss. Yeah. Hope I've answered your question about the document, birth certificate. court and prison records, military records, police certificates, copy of valid passport, biological data page. So all right. So if you're selected, we are talking about the work the work experience. Under work experience, I want to go further to talk about those who want to know more about the work experience. If you are qualifying with work experience, you must have 2 years of experience in the last 5 years in an occupation which, by USA government law definitions, requires 2 years of training. So in USA, there is work experience which needs training. So they further take you to the website to show you which kind of work they're talking about. That's the good thing they're talking about here. And when they take you to the USA website, they say the USA Department of Labor provides information of job duties, knowledge and skill, education, training, and other occupation characteristics on their website here. So let's go there and see. That's where we shall end our video from. So we're going to the website. We take a look at the kinds of work they look at. Occupation. So where is that? That career dreams. Can't find anything. All occupation. All zones. It's confusing on the website. So here somebody is asking, okay, if I win DV, is it advisable to quit my job? Let's say if I work in the UAE. Okay, that is an interesting one. Because the employer keep our passport. Okay, I will answer you. Probably if anybody is asking another question, I will answer him too. Then we shall wind up this video. So she's asking, is it okay, for example, like if she wins DV, like she's selected, is it advisable to quit her job? Let's say if she's working in UAE, wherever you're working, remember you need to survive. Once you're selected, it doesn't give you another job or another job offer. It doesn't give you guarantee that you're gonna get the visa. Though there is high chances that you're going to get the visa. But remember, you have to be careful. Don't quit. Be happy, but contain the happiness. Don't be excited too much to the point that you will just quit your job. Personally, I was given advice to quit my job in UAE. I got selected. The first time I got selected, I was in UAE. I'll give you that story as an example. I was in UAE and I got selected and I quit my job. When I came back to Uganda, things never went through. So I got stranded in Uganda. But luckily enough, I got selected a second time. That is the time which I used to come to America. But in between uh, uh, being selected the second time, I was so much of people were looking at me and telling me, why did you quit your job? why did you leave UAE? You're here suffering. And that time we had COVID. But I was still happy because COVID never found me when I was in UAE. People were dying, people were miserable, out of work, even in UAE. So I was home and I was relaxed, and I thank God I was in my country. Just because I quit my job after receiving the information that I was selected. And even I got an advice, remember, from somebody who was already in US and went through the same process. Said, I just quit your job because there's a lot of papers involved. Go home and start on the process. But another thing to my advantage, I had worked for 7 years and I was in my last year. The only year I was giving UAE, like, this is my last year and I will go home, start up my life again. And I had some money, I had my construction already somewhere. So I was happy, I was living and I was just ready. So when I quit, I was so happy, I was relieved still. I just said, at least I have a reason to quit my job. Going for Dvlottery. That by just having that reason, I was so happy. And yes, indeed, they gave me some money. Like after after you resign, they give you still your money. So what happened? I went home. So to be specific, to answer your questions, like, why should you leave your work if you still need your work? That's what I can say. For instance, in my place, I was new in UAE and I left my work. That means I left a dream come true. UAE is another America for other people, for some people. Just going to UAE and get a job like the one I had, getting 3 millions Ugandan shillings. That is like $800, $700. That was a dream for some people. So somebody who would have been in my position would even think twice about quitting his or job. So that is the same thing I can tell you, like, if that job is paying school fees for somebody who is paying you food, it's giving you a life, don't quit it until you have the visa in your hand. That is a thing you can, a visa you can trade with quitting even anything. Once you have that visa, that once you get the green paper giving you instruction to go and pick your passport with a visa, that is the time you say that now is the time I'm going to show everybody that I can even quit that damn job. You just quit and don't even tell them the reasons. I have many people in UAE even who are looking for Canada visa. But once they get the visa in their hand, that's when they are going to quit their job. Not now. Don't give them even a sign of I sometimes you need your passport. Remember, you just take your passport. If you want to visit your country, like you want to work onto the process, give your time. Give them an excuse. Tell them, oh, somebody died, for them to give you your passport so you can go and visit your country. Or once you're in Uganda, or you're in Mozambique, or you're in Ghana, or you're in Tanzania, just give an excuse to your boss for you to get time for the DV lottery. Because you only need 1-2 days off. Once you're going for medicals, you need 1-2 days off. Nowadays, even medicals, they started doing them in Uganda, Nakuru Hospital. It's in Naguru Hospital. Medicals are being done in Uganda. That means you only need to go to Kenya once you get the interview, 2NL, interview later, appointment later. That's when you can go for an interview, like 2 days, then you come back. You don't need to take a full week in Kenya nowadays because it's so costly. Dorothy, Thank you for coming. You're saying during medical interview, which test do they do? Yeah, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Which test do they do? Okay, I'm going to categorize your question into three kinds of individuals. You ask during medical, which kind of test do they do? If you're a child, which kind of test do they do? If you're a man, if you're a lady, let me start with the ladies because it's more sensitive on the ladies' side. On the lady, they will do pregnancy test. That when you reach there, that's when you get to know that these guys want to know if I'm pregnant. And there is no specific reason. They just want to know. Just want to give uh, a complete body check to the embassy about the kind of person who's going to America is. If you're pregnant, they will say, okay, she's pregnant and she's going to America. If you're not, no problem. Don't think there is something going on behind them knowing that you're pregnant. So they will need to know that you're pregnant. They ask if you are HIV positive or negative. It doesn't mean they're gonna disqualify you. They just want to ask because they want to recommend something for you, your health. They want to check for hepatitis. They want to check for TB. TB. TB is the most sensitive thing when it comes to Dvlottery. They, if you have TB, you can even miss your chance. Yeah, they want to check if you have TB because here in America, TB is on a controlled level. Once you come with TB here, that is something else. It's like you're coming to infect a lot of people here. A lot of people will be vulnerable to you. So they want anyone to come to America without any kind of sickness like TB, those killer diseases like TB. Uh, Also, when there was Ebola, they used to ask us to get maybe medical forms to show that we don't have Ebola for Ugandans. So, can you go to USA with hepatitis? Or how you can go to USA with hepatitis? That is not hepatitis. Hepatitis, I believe you can go to USA if you have hepatitis because hepatitis is for example, you're sick. But remember, for you to come to USA, they need you to be vaccinated. That is means you have to be vaccinated. So I believe at least the doctor will recommend you to wait until you heal. But remember, hepatitis is not an easy disease. If you have hepatitis, my dear, I've had less less rare survival rate for hepatitis. That's why many of us got the injection. There's hepatitis B, there's another kind of hepatitis. So hepatitis is not a big deal at this moment because once you come into America, they will check you and they need you to have the hepatitis vaccination. So they will know that you're vaccinated to hepatitis. So hepatitis won't just come and get you. So it's difficult to find. It's a rare case that somebody has hepatitis going to America. No, it's a rare case. So guys, I'm going to wind up my video today. If you have any questions, we can discuss it before. But at this moment, I want to wish you the best. Thank you for coming here on our live, where we share about Dvlottery and any kind of questions about America and traveling to America. Thank you guys for watching. I wish you luck. Thank you.